Welcome back to the This is Persia achievement run. This is part 19. In the last episode, we did quite a bit, actually. We have annexed most of the, profitable Ottoman territories that were still held by Turkey, including Constantinople, which is great because, as you can see, we've got a base tax of 18, a base manpower of 14, and a base production of 11. Very, very powerful. We have, of course, reduced the autonomy manually, and we have zero unrest due to our massive military presence on the former Ottoman capital. That being said, a few years have passed. A few of, observant viewers will have noticed. I believe the last episode ended around 35. We have spent the last 3 years coring all the territory that we have taken, and including, to our best ability, spreading Shiite Islam to all of this land. Of course, in the interim, we were laying claims upon most of the known worlds that we wish to still conquer. We have a vassal, of course, in Funj. We have taken all of this territory over here as well in the last episode. We've got basically all of modern-day Egypt and Sudan, which is fantastic. And now all we have to do is take out the rest of the Ottoman territory held here in Anatolia and parts of Greece, while also taking out the Knights as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit so that we can get a diplomat available. And as soon as we get a diplomat, we will be doing several things in this episode of the This is Persia challenge. One of which will be, getting closer and closer to the truce time with the Ottomans, which is going to be in 1747. But in the interim, we can work on Yarkand, which is what I'm going to be doing next. I'm going to be attacking Yarkand, as they have no ally, and I want to spread Persia's name more prominently across the map, and perhaps even go into Muscovite territory here in the east, or Karadel, kind of working my way to China, perhaps. So, with that being said, we will go ahead and declare war upon Yarkand. It's going to be a very, very easy conflict. It is a crime against Allah, though, so our piety is going to drop, but that's okay. Not a big deal. So let's go ahead and set Kashgar as the war goal. That's the capital, and we'll very easily take control over here. Won't be too bad at all. Working my way that way. Of course, we're making a lot more money now. As you guys can see, we're making 37 a turn with advisors, or rather with most of the advising team filled. Let's go ahead and work on the trade efficiency is fine. Of course, I moved my trading port to Constantinople, so I'm making quite a bit of money over here at the trade node. We don't have complete control over the Constantinople route yet, but we almost have control over it, the Constantinople route. We could work on some military ideologies. However, that being said, I'd rather go for the light infantry companies. Right, so we're at war with Kashgar. Let's go ahead and start fast forwarding through that. In the interim, we of course will also be declaring war upon the Knights, who are allied with Sicily. Not really a problem. Sicily itself is under siege. They don't really have a lot of allies. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and get you to stop trading. And I'm not sure if I can even declare war in the same month, so we're going to go ahead and wait that out. We can declare war on them next month, so that's good. And I guess, if I really wanted to, since I will be going to war with Sicily, I could start taking southern Italian territories. I mean, might as well, right? Let's go ahead and fabricate Calabria. And then from Calabria, we can expand into Tuscany later on, since we'll have to be at war with them anyways. So that works out perfectly. We are also annexing Kazakh this turn. Of course, last episode, we were able to vassalize, or rather diplomatically annex Bulgaria as well, which is nice. So let's look over here on this theater. We have successfully taken their capital. That was really easy. Of course, their capital, I believe, is the only place in Yarkand that has a fort. Once it falls, we can easily carpet siege the rest of their provinces, which is good. It's next month, which means I can start moving troops to the Knights. We're going to go ahead and start working on that right away, and declare war on them. Their ally Austria will be drawn into the conflict, which would be a problem. because Austria is actually the owner of France, and this is going to be all hell would break loose if I did this. But what are my options? I mean, they're allied with Sicily, and Austria is the defender of the Catholic faith. It's going to be difficult. Let's go ahead and take a look to see. Okay, they're also Catholic. Well, this might be a problem. A very large problem, because I don't want to be at war with half of the known world, especially considering France has a very large force limit itself of 118. But you know what? I could probably move most of my troops onto the Western Front, and I'll be okay. So you know what? We're going to wait on this war over here, and then start moving our troops that way. Starting with these units here, we're going to send them, I guess, just over into Bulgaria. That'd be closest to the European theater anyways. Still some over there. And what's nice too is that we don't need military access anymore, and we don't need boats, because since I own Constantinople, my men can cross freely through the Bosphorus, which is super, super cool. So let's go ahead and win the war with Yarkand, core those provinces, and then I'll declare war. And just prepare myself for war, I guess. We don't have any more separatists in our empire, which is fantastic. I'm going to move a few more units from the Arabian Peninsula and Egypt up there to Bulgaria. Our truce with Tunis, I believe, it ends the same time that our truce with the Ottomans expires. Let's go and take a look. It does, or no, rather it doesn't. Hold on. 1739. We can declare war on Tunis very soon, which is nice. In fact, I might do that next. They're no longer allied with the Ottomans though, which is the main problem. But not a huge deal in and of itself. So, Yarkand, we're making, we're going to work over here in Yarkand. Let's go ahead and also ally some of these countries down here. Persia's in it. Okay, so we need to be outside of an offensive war before we gain allies. I guess that much is obvious. Might as still work on maintaining our alliances that we have, though, in Europe. Of course, we're only allied to Lithuania and Wallachia. Wallachia, because I thought that I might be able to diplomatically annex them. Who knows? We might be able to do something with that. For the time being, though, because they are a different faith than we are, it'll be almost impossible for us to royal marry them. Well, actually, it will be. It will be completely impossible for us to marry them. So we're not going to worry about that. Moving onwards to Yarkand. We will work on taking over this land over here. And afterwards, we will focus on going deep into the Bosphorus. So far, so good. Working now on taking Yashukul, which has been conquered with the help of my vassal state. And once more of our troops arrive in the Western Mediterranean, we will freely declare war upon Rhodes, which will, of course, drag us into conflict with half of known Europe, including France and Austria. It'll be a dangerous gambit, but we can go ahead and attempt it. We are upgrading our infantry. We now have Muslim mass infantry, which is super, super good. And still finishing up on our occupation of Yarkand. We want to fully annex it, or perhaps even vassalize it. Doesn't really matter. The base tax is so low that if we were to vassalize it, it would take maybe a year or two to take all of that land. So we've got a peace offer for Yarkand, but we're not even going to look at it. So we will continue our war. Also, I believe we've already fabricated all of the Tuscan cores that we can. Or we can go more. We can go further. So, you know what? We're not going to really worry about that just yet, considering we haven't even gone to war with Rhodes yet. So, let's go ahead and hold off on that. Instead, we're going to be sending more men into the Balkans in preparation for war with Europe, which is fine. Let's go and take another look at Yarkand. We're doing pretty well here. I'm torn because I'd like to just outright annex all of this territory. I don't think there would really be any point to vassalize Yarkand. They have a very small force limit. Maybe of like 3 or 4. So let's see what all of their territories would cost me. It would cost me 31% overextension and 27 diplomatic power. Let's just go ahead and do that. That's fine. They're already all Persian, which is great. Oh, crap. I didn't take their capital, did I? Oh, God, that was such a mistake. Okay, well, you know what? I just made a huge mistake, but we'll take more of that territory later on. The only problem is, of course, we can't make a core with Yarkand still being... can't believe I made such a stupid mistake. Well, what I could do is... Why do they hate me? I could probably just vassalize Yarkand and feed them back their territory. I just really don't want to be holding on to overextension if I can avoid it. God, that's so stupid. I mean, I can't believe I did that. Whatever. Well, I did take at least their former capital of Kashgar. So we can't move back through their territory. Oh my god, this is just such a mess. See, I make mistakes. I'm not a perfect player in the least. We're going to ask for military access back through their territory because I wasn't able to take all of their land. God, that is just so embarrassing. Anyways, they're Shiite, and they're not cored, but, you know, it's as good as we can get. We are... Okay, right. So we are losing diplomatic power because we have a military access through Yarkand. What if we were to befriend Yarkand instead, and then just diplomatically annex them? I don't really want to wait for, you know, military occupation here. So what we're going to do is we are going to improve our relations with them. Try to bring that back up positive. Pay them off. I don't know. We'll do something. So anyways, more important news. I'm just also taking a look at our extension. It's not too bad. We just have a little bit of national unrests. Not a huge problem. We are going to declare war upon the Knights. And this could go one of two ways. This could go disastrously, or this could go pretty well. So let's take a look first at the Liberty Desire of France, if that's even possible. They've been under Austria for quite a while. If we were to support your independence, they're loyal towards Austria. Well, that's not good. We don't want that. Let's take a look again at the army force limits here. So we're going to be going up against an army of at least 200,000 Western Europeans, in addition to Rhodes and Sicily. So this is going to be relatively complicated, especially if the Europeans start getting military access into the Balkans. In preparation for this, we will be moving a lot of our men into the Balkans, starting with the Constantinople units. I'm looking now to see if they support enough force or supply for me to be able to go over there. They do. That's nice. Constantinople has 0 unrest, which is really good. We will be moving more men into the Balkans in preparation for the European attack. So now that we're ready, now that we've been to war at Yarkand and we made a stupid mistake, we are ready to declare war on the Knights, who will bring Austria and Sicily into the fold. So that's okay. We can afford to do that. Not a big deal. Give me 1 second to do something here. Right, so now that I'm back, we are going to declare war on Rhodes, and we're going to try our hardest to take it. We can't bring Lithuania or Wallachia into the conflict, and that's totally acceptable. That is something that I pretty much expected right from the start. We can now proselytize in Constantinople, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now that we have the piety to do so. Moving men onto the transports really fast. I'm going to be slowing it down just a little bit as well, because we're about to have to micromanage quite a bit of warfare here, especially if Austria joins. They did. So we've got a massive coalition against us, basically, with only our vassals of Funj and Kazakh being able to join us. Luckily, however, because we have expanded Funj quite a bit, they have a land connection with us, meaning that they can assist us. They're no longer stuck behind Ethiopia. And Kazakh also is going to be involved in this conflict. So, that being said, after we've taken out Rhodes, I'm going to be moving my transports into Italy. This is where I expect to come up with some opposition between either Austria or France. They might even attack me in the Balkans. I don't really know quite yet, but we're about to find out. So, now that we're at war, if I was thinking correctly, I would have assigned a general to lead the attack into Rhodes. They have a 2-3-4 general, which is not too bad. So we're about to see what the attack phase looks like here once we land in Rhodes. I mean, I think we won't have much of a problem here, considering we have a vast numerical superiority. We're able to beat them pretty soundly. That's fine. The only problem, of course, is that we don't have enough men to attack their castle. So we're going to go ahead and immediately start working on that, which is okay. So now that that's happened, we're going to take back our troops, and hopefully this will be enough men to start getting attrition for the Rhodian people here. And also, I am prepared for any type of French or Austrian invasion. I'm just looking to see if France has expanded any type of colonial empire. They did. They have a little bit of presence here in the Pacific, off of the coast of Borneo and modern-day Philippines. And they also have a port down here in South Africa. So, you know, I'm not really worried about France, actually. I was more worried if they had a presence in India. And as of this recording, the only colonial presence is Great Britain. So that's pretty good. We're not too worried about that. What we will do instead is see... Okay, we can't call you to arms. That's fine. It's mainly because they're in debt, but it's also because they're threatened of our influence here. So because we can't lay siege quite yet, we're going to be using more troops to do so, which should be easy. The Ottomans are still at war with Hungary. They are winning, however, probably considering I have kind of like a wall surrounding them or protecting them, be that as it may. No sign of the French yet. I'm not sure if they give access through Hungary. They might. Because if they do, they could pop up on any... They're over there. Right. Okay, well that makes sense. See, that's where the French are. They're right there. They're heading directly towards Burgas, which is fine. We have a few units that can immediately intercept that force. Of course, we do need more men to replace the stack that was just wiped. We will be recruiting more in the former Ottoman territories of Anatolia, where we will have 2 stacks ready to reinforce, one also over here in Armenia. I know there is a way for me to make a template that I can use here, but I honestly don't know how to do it, so if you guys know how to do it in the comments, please leave a comment below to let me know how to do that so I can save some time in the future. So, right, we have somebody about to be attacked over here in Burgas. We will be redeploying our leaders here. So we have both generals heading to reinforce, which should be okay if they still decide to attack. They did. We should be able to take care of them, no problem. Revenge for that unit that I wasn't paying too much attention to. So it seems like France has access through our ally Lithuania. That is bad news, but that is the way that they've been playing. So we are able to siege down Rhodes now, which is great. I wonder how far France will retreat to. They might just retreat back to Lithuania. If that's the case, I'd like to follow them. Keeping, of course, a few stacks over here in the Balkans just in case. So they're not retreating through that. They're retreating actually through my territory into Hungary. So it'll be imperative that I keep a militant force in the Balkans to dissuade them from attacking me again. We will research land clearance, that's fine. I really want to get my administrative technology up so that way I can take more land in peace deals. We can move you over here, that's good. I just need to make sure that we have enough defense on the borders of our empire. that is for the best. So, Rhodes is still under siege. Nothing really of note there. I think I might go ahead and start attacking Sicily, as we are at war with them as well. We do have a claim on Calabria, and we can take them out of the conflict. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to move my units over here to Epirus and take a look to see what they have going on over there in southern Italy. So we are attacking a French fleet. This French fleet has got some heavy ships, unfortunately. They've got no galleys, which is good for me, and mainly they just have transport, but they don't have a leader, and neither do we. However, they have a bigger role, I believe, because of the fact that they have heavy ships. Let's take a look at our naval force limit. We're going to be ordering some heavy ships for the future. So that was 10 heavy ships. We could go ahead and make some more once we get the money to afford them. Let's see how this battle goes in the Mediterranean. It doesn't look like it's going very well. Definitely not in our favor anyways. So that's bad news. We've lost most of our fleet. And now we've got some rebels popping up. But I'm not too worried. We can get rid of them. This one, however, will take a bit longer to clear up. So we were just absolutely decimated in the Ionian Sea. That's going to be a huge problem. They have a large navy. It wasn't just France. It was actually Austria as well. Yeah, this is a very, very big problem because that is how I'm going to get my troops off of Rhodes. That was how I was going to take over Sicily. This is just going to cause a lot of problems if I can't cross the narrow sea, across the Bosphorus. So at the very least, we are able to take back some of the peasant-held territory. Even our vassal was able to clear it up for us, actually, so that's nice. It's nice always having vassals. So now we need to rebuild our navy. It might help if we modernize our navy a little bit. I know that we are getting destroyed in technology. So we were able to take back some of this territory over here that's not cored. Let's take a look at our relations with Yarkand. They're not too good, honestly. But we might be able to increase it just a little bit with a royal marriage. Very nice. Of course, I'm trying to diplomatically annex them. We still have truce timers on the Ottomans. They end in 1447. In Tunis, I believe we can already attack them. So depending on how this war goes, like, you know, if I only get Rhodes out of this war, that's okay. Not a huge deal. I'll get what I can take at this point. Are we allied with Golconda? Not yet. We need to. We need to be. It's fine. We will give Yarkand military access. It's no problem. It's just incredibly lame that we were unable to preserve our fleets. And what the hell is going on over here? We've got like a freaking Sicilian army that's exiled, that's walking through our territory. I have no idea how they're even able to do that in the first place. We've got some unrest. Looks like it's probably coming from Constantinople and Kashgar from our recruitment effort there, to trying to proselytize them to the Shiite faith. Of course, we are almost done creating the core at Kashgar, which is great. We've got an Austrian army off the frontier that we share with the Balkans, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that, see where they're heading. They're currently heading nowhere in particular, as I've got a very heavy military defense here along the land borders that I share with Europe. I think he might make a move on Celestria. No, I was wrong. Looks like they're going to be attacking my northern Circassian provinces, so we are going to use our newly recruited army, seen here, to taking back that territory, which is good. We'll have 60 to their 50. With better generals, we probably have a chance. We just need to group up all of our men. And we've almost captured Rhodes. Getting very, very close. We are only waiting on, I believe, cannon for both of these armies. Well, this army's already completed, so we're going to go ahead and send it up. So far, so good. I don't know, why the hell did it go that? Okay, you know what? I remember I was allied with Lithuania. I made a huge mistake and sent my men this way because I assumed they were going to go across Anatolia up into Cilicia, or rather Circassia. I made a huge mistake, and I'm going to lose an army from doing that. That was just incredibly stupid on my part. So we are going to have to replace that army, most unfortunately. Because I lost and they stack wiped me. So lots of mistakes have been made today. That goes without saying, really. But at least we know now to invest in heavy ships and an admiral. We've got 2 units now heading into Circassia, in case if Austria decides to make a move into there. Of course, they have land access through Lithuania, so we need to be prepared and waiting for that possibility. In the interim, we are going to be working on fabricating more claims on Gujarat and trying to expand in multiple directions here. So how much force limit can we maintain here? We can maintain 48. That's perfect. We've run roads, which is also really good. Now we just have to wait and play the game out and see if we can't build up a navy in the interim here. Mainly on galleys, because we can make them pretty fast, and the fact that frigates just do not perform as well as galleys in the Mediterranean. We will make a few galleys, however, but I need to completely rebuild our navy. But what's nice is that we have some war galleons being made along the Levantine coast, which is perfect. So now we are just going to sit and wait and play the waiting game and see if we can't force Austria or France into a military confrontation on our territory. Of course, now we are insured on both fronts. We do, however, need to make yet more men, probably 2 more stacks of men to be created. So we're going to create yet more men. That's 1 more unit. We'll work on another one here in a second. We've increased our relations with Yarkand as much as possible. And now we've got a hit to land maintenance modifiers, which is going to be bad. Right, so Yarkand. If I can't diplomatically annex them, and it's looking like this might be kind of hard, I might just decide to break our alliance and declare war on them. I was kind of hoping that we'd be able to diplomatically annex them. But sometimes you can't get what you want. So now we continue on with our war with the Ottomans. I could probably do a multi-front war with Tunis as well, but I don't want to throw all my men there just quite yet. So instead, I'm going to continue to keep my eyes on the Austrian armies that are positioned outside of Persia. What else can we do here? I'd like to fabricate more claims upon Tunis. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want to expand westward, actually, in the late game. Perhaps even going as far as Morocco. Could be pretty cool. We are rebuilding our navy as well, and now that France is out of the Eastern Mediterranean, we might be able to overthrow the Austrian fleet. Be pretty great. Of course, I am well aware that there might be a naval invasion into my territory. It's a possibility. Meaning that either France or Austria lands an army in North Africa, and I'm prepared for that as well. So now we sit and wait to see what happens. Of course, our war score is rising over time. Eventually, I'm going to get a bid for peace. It's just a matter of how long that will be. In the future, because we will be at war with Tuscany, I'm going to go ahead and start fabricating claims upon them. And our truce to the Ottomans is over very soon. It'll be over in 47. So just about 5 more years, which is super, super good. Getting more of a navy now. Take a quick look to see how much of traditions we get. We get 121. That's great. Let's go ahead and make some ships. Some frigates. 2 there, 2 there. That's great. Some over here as well. And the rest are making galleys. Right. Oh, so we might have a possibility of being able to take on France when we build up some more ships. We can also build up ships over here in the Black Sea. I didn't even think of that. Let's go ahead and do that. Mainly galleys, because they'll be cheaper. And we want galleys to be, you know, a pretty large portion of our Mediterranean fleet. They're nice and cheap, and they do the job. With some heavy ships guarding them, we shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. Right, and our army over here in Syria is almost completely at capacity. Take a look at our ideologies. We could go another one for Noble Reliance. It gives us a war reduction benefit. That's pretty good. Military technology cost, that's also really nice. And the leaders with upkeep is what I am trying to accomplish by filling this tree. France and Austria are still at bay. They're not really making any moves on any of my territory, which is good. And I'm going to try and work on completing my navy before putting it into action. I need to be able to overpower France if necessary. We've got some war galleons over here off the coast of Levantine region, so that's really, really good. Also, let's go ahead and ally Golconda. We're supposed to do that in the first place, but I think we're at war, so they're not going to accept it. It's fine. Yarkand is becoming westernized. That's fine. So we're getting some military access requests from the Ottomans. We're not going to accept that, of course. They are at war with Tuscany. So we will see how that fight goes. Also, because all my ships were destroyed, that means I also have to make more transport ships. Here in just a second. So let's go ahead and work on transport ships as well. Merchantmen are how they are called. Let's make them over here in the Black Sea where they are safe. So we're only going to get like 8 right now, but we'll get more later. We don't really need a whole lot, but it's just it's easier if we can transport whole armies at the same time. It's more convenient. So our navy is definitely building up over here in the Eastern Mediterranean, which is fantastic news. In fact, pretty soon I'll buy some more galleys. We should be able to throw off the Tuscans and the Austrians, as the French are currently occupied elsewhere, perhaps in the Western Mediterranean. The Black Sea, we are developing lots and lots of galleasses, which is great. For some reason, unit production has stopped in Syria. I have no idea why. We don't have enough infantry, so we're going to make more. While also working on creating more of a navy. We now have 10 heavy ships, which is great. We need more light ships now. Perhaps frigates. So, I think it's time that we overthrow the knights from their hegemony over here. In order to do that, we need to group up all of our naval units, which we shall do so just like so. And just like that, we've got 28 naval units. We should be able to smash the knights over here. So we're going to go ahead and do that as well. Give us some more war score. That was very easy. Now we can take all of our naval units from the northern Black Sea and route them south. I'm going to do that now. All of these units here as well, with no exceptions. And we've came into conflict with the Austrians. It's not too much of a surprise. We're getting some war exhaustion now, but we can't really help it. I thought we had more reinforcements from the south. Come on, come on, come on. We need to crush the Austrians. We were able to take them out. That's very good. But we have the problem of some damaged ships, so we are going to go ahead and repair a little bit. Here. Or perhaps here. So war exhaustion is pretty high. We can make peace with Austria, I think. They won't consider it yet, but I think they consider it soon. Take a look at our war exhaustion. It's not too bad yet. It's going to get worse, though. But we need to heal up our naval units just a little bit here. And regroup with some more of them here on the Black Sea. We just need a minimalistic navy, if nothing else. That's pretty good. We can use that. A force of 40. Of course, with 10 heavy ships, that's really good. We're getting more and more galleasses now, which we will use. And we've taken yet another administrative technology. The next technology that we'll take will give us administrative efficiency, which is really, really good. Right now, we just need to move these units into the Black Sea so we can regroup them. We're going to make more and more of those ships. We need as many as possible. So we've gotten 4, that's great. Now we have 6. 6 more to join our navy off of the coast of Athens, where they are currently healing up. And honestly, we could probably strike into some of these navies over here. They have relatively smaller navies here. But I'd really like to go make peace with Austria if possible. Perhaps if I smash another one of their naval units. Just like so. We are going to get even more units meeting up over here outside Athens. Once we get to 50, I'll go ahead and take out some of these Austrian fleets that we see. Right, so it's perfect now. We could probably make another leader. I kind of want to make an admiral, actually. That might help quite a bit. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's take a look. We are, of course, now in the possession of too many generals. So let's go ahead and start striking at the Austrians. Because I want to get them out of the war, if at all possible. And let's not forget Sicilians. We should do okay over here as well. We were able to take them out. I don't think we lost a single ship. It's really good news. We took a little bit of damage, but really not enough to even talk about. We're going to take out the rest of the Sicilians, just like so. And we're going to heal up the rest of them off of the coast of Crete, whilst also sending more of them to Crete. We might want to land a invasion force into Sicily. Really, at this point, I don't really know. Could be pretty beneficial towards our cause. I'm just worried a bit about war exhaustion, which will rise pretty steadily here. The problem is, of course, France is attacking me now off the coast of Sirte. So we need to get rid of the French influence there. We lost a few ships, but nothing really special. We didn't lose any heavy ships, for instance. So now we meet up in Crete and regroup. I think at this point I'll probably just take Rhodes. I mean, I can always declare war on Sicily later, that's fine. Austria I still think is probably not willing to make peace with me. They're very close though. If I continue at this, it might make more sense. Why don't we just do that? That makes a lot more sense to me. Of course, after our naval units heal up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and work on making some more transport ships. Rebel uprising, Sunni zealots. Well, that's not a problem yet, so we're not too worried about it. We've got a brand new regiment over here, which is good. We'll move that to the Caucasus in preparation for an attack. Of course, the Ottomans, we can declare war upon next episode, 1747. It's really good. And Lithuania against Moldova. I think that's, you know, pretty easy choice for me to make. I will go on the much bigger side and retain my ally in the process of doing so. Pretty soon I'll be able to make a few more ships here. Hopefully transport ships, with any luck. We've got more in the Black Sea, so we will go ahead and transport those to our other ships. They'll meet up. Just like so. Five more galleys to meet up at Crete. I wonder what happened to the large French naval force that was engaging us earlier. Perhaps we will run into them here in a minute. But for the time being, we need merchantmen really badly, so we're going to create quite a few over here off of the coast of the Middle East, Levantine region. And will Austria take peace? I really, you know, I want them to, honestly, at this point. Almost there. That's fine. Reduce our war exhaustion. That's pretty easy. We have a lot of choices for the comet sighting. Let's say if only we had common sense. We can take yet another group. We are going to take probably an admin group or a diplomatic group. Let's go with... what would make the most amount of sense at this point? We've pretty much already filled out our our second military idea. But we could probably use another diplomatic one. Let's go with... trade might be good. Let's just go with trade. That's fine. Not my first choice, but it's not too bad. We've got a revolt in our vassal. No worries there. Not a huge deal. Now that we have some more naval units, we are going to have them meet off the coast of Constantinople. Just like so. We will group these units together and send them to Crete. There are 5 more transport ships that will prove useful. I'm really waiting for Austria to make peace with me here. Austria has a low desire to be at war with me. We will make peace with them. Very, very good. So now we just have the problem of Floride and Sicily. Of course, Floride is independent for some reason. So now that Sicily is ready for the taking, we've got 7 transport ships. Will that be enough to take our men in without them being destroyed? Let's go ahead and take a quick look, shall we? And also at our war exhaustion, which is relatively high. They have a force of 17 men in Messina. So we're going to wait. And we need more transport ships. That is basically the heart of our problem. So we're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit more here. Of course, we can declare war on the Ottomans pretty much at any moment now. We have claims on everything, so we're fine there. Heresy, yeah, that's pretty terrible. We'll get rid of that. We've got 2 more transport ships that we can send. to Crete. And some more military ships as well. You know, at this point, like, what is the point of me even going to Sicily? I think I'm, like, overthinking this too much. It's not really a huge deal either way. I think we'll just make peace with them. But I might be able to, by being off the coast of Sicily, I might be able to get some type of peace terms off of it. We've just integrated Kazakh, actually, as well. So Persia is huge now. And we are going to get to work at establishing a religious identity for Kazakh. Of course, now we've got some wonky armies. The Kazakh army is pretty tiny. What we will do before we go to peace is raise war taxes, which will give us quite a bit of money, which is great. And let's go ahead and make peace with Sicily. I mean, there's really no point in being at war with them. We only have 9% war score, however, which is pretty low. Does it go over time? I don't think it does. So we can't really ask for anything out of that. That's just stupid. All right, you know, well, I guess we take roads, and that's about it for this episode, unfortunately. Could probably take some money out of it, too. Quite a bit of money, actually. And that's good. You know, we got roads. That's better than nothing, I guess. So, now that we have roads, that is the last of the islands in the Greek chain. We have all of the islands now, which is super, super nice. Stay tuned for the next episode where we take over the Ottomans and wipe them from the map, as we only have, I believe, 2 or 3 months left before the truce timer is up. So once again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for sticking with me, and stay tuned for that next episode. See you guys later.